Let's do a sum that is even longer, more difficult. So the question is, using de Moivres theorem, express sine 5 theta as powers of sine theta. So the first thing is, we already know what the de Moivres theorem is. So we know that cos theta plus I sine theta to the power 5, I'm taking the power as 5 because we have to express sine 5 theta. It is identical to cos 5 theta plus I sine 5 theta. This means we have to compare the imaginary part this time. So let's compare the left hand side. So we can take the left hand side, cos theta plus I sine theta to the power 5, and break this down using binomial theorem. So the first term is going to be cos theta to the power 5 plus 5c1 cos theta to the power 5 minus 1, which is 4, multiplied by I sine theta to the power 1 plus 5c2 cos theta to the power 3 I sine theta to the power 2 plus 5c3 cos theta to the power 2 I sine theta to the power 3 plus 5c4 cos theta to the power 1 I sine theta to the power 4 plus the final term is going to be I sine theta to the power 5. So we can simplify this. Cos to the power 5 theta plus 5c1 is 5 cos to the power 4 theta, and this is going to be I sine theta plus 5c2, so it's 10. So we can write 10 cos cubed theta, and this is I squared sine squared theta plus 5c3, and that turns out to be also 10. So 10 cos squared theta I cubed sine cubed theta plus 5c4, which turns out to be 5 cos theta I to the power 4 sine to the power 4 theta plus I to the power 5 sine to the power 5 theta. Now let's further simplify this. So this is going to be cos to the power 5 theta plus 5 into I is 5I cos to the power 4 theta sine theta. Now I square is minus 1, so 10 into minus 1 is minus 10 cos cubed theta sine squared theta. Now I cubed is going to be I times I squared, which is minus I. So this is going to be minus 10I cos squared theta sine cubed theta plus, now I to the power 4 means I squared whole squared. That means minus 1 whole squared, which is plus 1. So it is going to be 5 into plus 1 is 5 cos theta sine to the power 4 theta. Now I to the power 5 is I times I to the power 4. We just found out I to the power 4 is plus 1. So I times I to the power 4 is plus I, which is I sine to the power 5 theta. Now if we break this down as real part and imaginary part, meaning non-I part and I part, it turns out to be cos to the power 5 theta plus minus 10 cos cube theta sine squared theta plus 5 cos theta sine to the power 4 theta. So this is the real part. Now plus, if we take I common, it turns out to be 5 cos to the power 4 theta sine theta minus 10 cos squared theta sine cube theta and plus sine to the power 5 theta. So we got the real part and the imaginary part. Now let's compare the imaginary part because we have to express sine 5 theta. So comparing I. So sine 5 theta is equal to 5 cos to the power 4 theta sine theta minus 10 cos squared theta sine cubed theta plus sine to the power 5 theta. Now remember, we have to express the whole thing in terms of sine only. So this one is cos and this one is cos. So we can write this as 1 minus sine squared and the problem is solved. What about this one? Well, since this is cos squared theta whole squared, after all it is to the power 4, it has to be 1 minus sine squared whole squared. So a bit complicated. So let's do this. So this is going to be 5 sine theta and cos to the power 4 theta is going to be 1 minus sine squared theta whole square minus 10 sine cubed theta cos squared theta is going to be 1 minus sine squared theta and we have plus sine to the power 5 theta. So we can write 5 sine theta. So 1 minus sine squared theta whole theta is going to be a minus b whole squared. So a squared, which is 1, minus 2ab, which is going to be 2 into 1 into sine squared theta plus b squared, which is going to be sine to the power 4 theta. Now this is going to be minus 10 sine cube theta into 1, which is 10 sine cube theta minus minus plus 10 sine to the power 5 theta plus sine to the power 5 theta. So let's see how it turns out to be. So we have sine 5 sine theta into 1 minus 10 sine cubed theta plus 5 sine to the power 5 theta minus 10 sine cubed theta plus 10 sine to the power 5 theta plus sine to the power 5 theta. If we add up all the sine to the power 5 theta, it turns out to be 5 plus 10, 15 plus 1, 16 sine to the power 5 theta. The next one is cubed. We have minus 10 sine cube theta and minus 10 sine cube theta. It turns out to be minus 20 sine cube theta. And finally we have 5 sine theta, and that's all we have. So 5 sine theta.